The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, has taken a big step in the continuing legal battle over Ripple by agreeing to withdraw its appeal, which is excellent news for the cryptocurrency community. This ruling provides much-needed clarification on a crucial matter that has perplexed investors: XRP's classification. For those who are not familiar, XRP, a component of Ripple, has been the subject of debate about whether or not it qualifies as a security. The current order follows a historic 2023 decision by U.S. District Judge Annalisa Torres, which many saw as a win for Ripple. With the new clarification on XRP status, this verdict may pave the way for Ripple to grow its sales operations, particularly to institutional investors. It's crucial to remember, though, that not everyone has hope for the future. Significant worries have been expressed by a former SEC attorney on possible legal issues that Ripple may still encounter. Although the SEC's recent ruling provides some respite, the legal environment is still convoluted and unpredictable. In order to further establish itself in the institutional sector, Ripple will need to be able to traverse these seas. Investor confidence may rise as a result of the SEC's decision to drop the appeal, giving Ripple the opportunity to profit from this newfound clarity. Businesses wishing to interact with XRP should, nevertheless, exercise caution, because regulatory scrutiny in the cryptocurrency space is inherently unpredictable. Investors and stakeholders must be informed as we continue to track developments in this matter. The future of XRP and Ripple, as well as their place in the larger cryptocurrency ecosystem, is still being determined. Long-term success for Ripple will depend on how it responds to these developments, particularly in view of the cautionary tales from legal professionals regarding potential obstacles. Judge Torres' decision on XRP sales marked a major turning point in Ripple's legal path. Stay tuned as we closely monitor this story to see what effects these developments may have on the company's operations and the larger cryptocurrency ecosystem. In this historic ruling, the judge upheld that although Ripple's programmatic XRP sales on secondary exchanges were legal, the company's direct XRP sales to institutional investors over the securities regulatory threshold, this decision has been crucial, particularly since the SEC decided not to appeal, setting a precedent that may have an impact on the future of the Bitcoin sector. In a similar move, the SEC has consented to reimburse $75 million, 0 cents of the $125 million, 0 cents fine that a New York judge first imposed on Ripple in 2022. In order to wrap up the case, Ripple must pay a $50 million 0 cents fine, signifying a significant financial respite for the business as it negotiates its post-litigation environment. The euphoria in the Ripple community is evident now that the SEC's injunction has been lifted. An intriguing implication was noted by a user on X, formerly known as Twitter. Ripple can now interact directly with institutional investors because, to this modification, the business may now sell directly to well-known financial institutions like hedge funds and private equity groups, avoiding over-the-counter platforms. But not everything is simple. Mark Fagel, a former SEC lawyer, used social media to remind everyone that the original order about Ripple's sales to institutional investors is still applicable, even though the injunction is no longer in place. Fagel said that if the SEC chooses to reopen the case, any subsequent sales that resemble those that were declared unlawful might still be subject to Section 5 objections. As they map out their future, this fosters a wary environment for Ripple. They must continue to be alert, maintaining adherence to securities regulations while looking for fresh growth prospects in the quickly changing digital asset industry. With all of these changes, Ripple is under more scrutiny than ever before, and how they handle these challenges might be a turning point for the business as well as the cryptocurrency industry as a whole. What does Ripple's future hold then? All eyes will be on their compliance with rules and the potential long-term effects on their business model as they are ready to sell to institutional investors. The legality of cryptocurrencies is changing, and Ripple's future in this fast-paced market will depend on its ability to remain ahead of regulations. We'll keep a careful eye on these developments as we follow Ripple's journey and speculate on what it might mean for cryptocurrency investing in the future. Be sure to subscribe for updates. Although the SEC has backed off from vigorously pursuing enforcement in Ripple's case, Fagel explained, the Securities Act may still be used to examine the company's sales to institutional investors. In other words, legal challenges may reappear if Ripple behaves in the same manner as before. However, what does this signify for the on-demand liquidity offering offered by Ripple? Fagel said that the decision might remove some of the earlier restrictions, particularly those pertaining to Ripple's XRP sales practices. However, prudence is suggested. Even without the SEC's supervision, Ripple might still be subject to legal action if it resumes using previously prohibited sales techniques. In conclusion, Ripple must cautiously negotiate these waters even while the terrain is shifting. Going ahead, compliance will remain a key element of its approach. We'd love to know what you think of these developments as we come to a close. Do you believe Ripple can adjust to this new environment successfully, or do you anticipate recurring difficulties? Participate in the discussion below, and remember to tell your network about this crypto insight. As we continue to update you on Ripple's progress and its ramifications for cryptocurrency investments, stay tuned for additional information. Get the most recent information and analysis to help you navigate this ever-changing environment by subscribing